is going to talk all about himself. Egotistic much? Listen and you might learn a little thing or two. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Ben Hughes with his speech, My Ego.
All right. Yeah. When you hear the word ego, do you think positively or negatively on the word? Raise your hand if you think negatively on the word ego. See, I feel like the word ego gets passed around a lot nowadays, and it always gets a bad rap. The dictionary states that it's a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. Everyone should feel important and have high self-esteem, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
You wouldn't say food is bad because if you eat too much, you become obese. You need food to survive. You also have to learn how to control how much you eat. Too little ego, and you become depressed. Too much ego, you become arrogant. There's a perfect balance in the middle, where I call it the sweet spot, where you should aim for. There are times in my life where I had to check my own ego. Just this past week, in fact, I was training my jiu-jitsu, and I had someone in full guard. And what that is basically I'm on my back, and I'm wrapping my legs around their abdominal area, and it's one of the most important positions in all of jiu-jitsu. It's where you start. Well, the person I'm training with is a brown belt, which can take over 5 years of rigorous training to obtain. And he knows I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of locking him in place and just hoping that nothing happens or the best happens to me. And he says, go to what you know. And don't get me wrong, I've been training for 4 months. I know some moves, but nothing came to me at that moment. And as a former wrestler, being on my back made me uncomfortable. I didn't like that because in wrestling, if you're on your back, you lose the match. So I had been avoiding it like the plague. I've been just so focused on winning every time I train with someone. Oh, am I winning? Am I in the dominant position? I'm not going to be on my back today. I'm just going to focus on being on top of everybody else so that I can win. So I was feeding my ego to make myself feel better and more important. And instead of focusing on my weak areas, I was neglecting them. And this is important because you should push yourself to do something that you're not comfortable with. When you just do everything that you're good with and stuff that you're more comfortable with, you're not challenging yourself. When you do a speech in Toastmasters, you're challenging yourself. You're trying to see what areas can I improve in. If you come up here and you just focus on doing only the things that you're great at, you'll never improve because you'll only be doing the things that you were already great at. So when you come up to the lectern, you should focus on what areas do you struggle with. For me personally, I hate doing serious speeches. I like to be the funny guy. I want to make everyone laugh and enjoy their time here. So serious speeches for me are something that I've really gone away from because they make me uncomfortable. So I want to challenge you to try to do things that make you uncomfortable. When you come up here, if you are more of the funny person, try to be more serious. If you're more serious, try to be more funny, please. And I remember when Toastmaster Catherine Mosier-Belay came up here and gave a speech. A speech about how winning the trophy is not important. And it was awesome because it showed how you could improve yourself. And then she won the trophy that day. And she was absolutely right nonetheless. But when I step into practice for jiu-jitsu, winning brings me nowhere. When you step into Toastmasters, winning brings you nowhere. When you come here, you want to train your weak areas, so when you go out to the real world and you want to use those as your strengths, you'll be much better off. The next time you come up with a speech, ask yourself, what areas are you not great in? Communicate them with your evaluator. Fix them here. Toastmasters, I encourage you to push out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself, and step away from feeding the ego. Egos can be obese too.